Hi guys, I'm Tamil and today I'm going to show you a let's play of Larioth, and this is the whole mission with Siris. It was my first play with Siris and I had a great time, enjoyed it, exploring the new weapons and his different fighting styles and techniques. So here's the first enemy that you meet along the way, and it's the Uranium Golem, and this is a new Titan. And Siris's light weapon that I'm using there, it has a different style to in IB2, a bit more like IB1 as it's faster. However, he does do different combos and different super attacks, which I hadn't unlocked at this stage, as I say, this was my first playthrough with Siris and I didn't have combos. So I discovered that early, and you've got a very weak attack at the beginning, and then I experienced the dynamic fighting that the Titan does, where he drops his weapon and then picks up a column, or if he breaks his staff then he'll pick up both halves. So far I've only experienced the column fighting, and luckily you can parry them like a sword, and I got quite a few perfect parries against the column. So this fight was fairly straightforward, I found, even though I didn't have any combos. And I find that if you haven't got them yet, it's best to hit rapidly in one direction, like I'm showing there, and then you'll get as many hits in as fast as possible. So that was the end of the Uranium Golem. And as I say, he was pretty straightforward even without combos and with a weak weapon, as being my first fight I haven't many attack points yet. So then it was on to the Templar, and he did hit me a couple of times unfortunately, and that was because it was my first experience with the dagger Titans, and it's quite different, the arm moves, they look like they're going to swing one way and it sort of changes in the middle, and there he got me. But he didn't get me much, I must say. I think that was his only go at me, and I finished him quite quickly once I'd got over the new arm movements. And so it's basically the same, it's just he moves his arm while he comes towards you, and it looks like he's going to use the other arm, but in fact he doesn't. They carry on using that same arm, so it's just a matter of getting used to the new style. And this was another new Titan, the Iron Templar, and you meet him just after meeting Shell, the merchant, and she takes something out of a chest that you've just opened, and you'll meet her later on when she comes to the hideout. Then it was on to a familiar Titan, the Iron Hunter, with his dual weapons. However, he is using different dual weapons, and that's what I noticed in the new game, that where the Titans are the same ones from IB1 and 2, they do however have different weapons so far that I've seen. Even if it's the same class, they're different weapons. So I didn't have any trouble with the Iron Hunter, pretty familiar with him from IB2. And however, I'm not as used to using the light, because I mainly focus on using dual, and I didn't have a dual weapon yet at this point, but I was still doing pretty well and getting a few perfect parries, and unlocked my combos at this point. And so the combos are the same to trigger them. You want to do with light weapon left, right, left, but I did find that after doing left, right, left, then every hit was a combo, and I don't know if that was a temporary glitch, and I think it's not in this fight, it's in another fight, but I found I did more than one combo, and normally you have to go left, right, left before you get a combo with light. So it started acting like the 5cc gen, or dual weapons, where each hit is a combo. And it was with this plated guard that it happened, so you'll see it. And yes, he does get me there. I was still getting used to the new weapons, and so I did, as I say, get hit a couple of times, but not very much. And I think here it is, you see, each hit was a combo. So that might have been a glitch, or it might have be the way the game is, and I did try it later in the game, but it didn't work for me again. So this is another Titan from IB2, the plated guard, who's Radial's henchman in IB2, but now he's a deathless Titan of the Worker of Secrets. And after you fight him, which I nearly finished him there, you can open the chest and there's the map of life. And you want to hang around in that area and get the drop from the map, which is in the painting when you look to your left in that same room. So before moving on, look up and look to the left and you'll get your first dual weapon. Well, that's what I got from that medium chest map, and I got the steel hatchet. So I went left after that instead of straight ahead, and the side quest to get another chest drop, and you have to get past this quite high health Titan, and I was using my new dual weapons to fight him, and so I felt a lot more comfortable, though once again he did hit me again, being a new Titan and just starting to get used to the dual weapons in IB3. It is pretty similar, but the game mechanics are a bit different to the way it moves with IB2, and I'm so used to that IB2 method of hitting. But I did get used to it pretty quickly after 1 or 2 fights, and now I'm back to being the dual master as usual. And so this Titan reminded me of the Fell Sirens moves, and also Acolyte. He's got those Fell Siren hand and cartwheels, and he also pokes his stick to the front like Acolyte. But his main thing was having quite high health when you've got a low attack weapon at this stage early on. And I also had to get used to that freeze magic, and I thought it was going to attack him with ice element, but in fact it doesn't. It slows down his attacks. So that's what the freeze magic does, slows the enemy attacks, doesn't actually take any health off them. And I did try to stab when those stab circle comes up. However, I found that you get, once again, like IB2, a longer break window if you go straight into attacking and ignore the stab circle, just like in IB2. Otherwise you'll get a short attack window and only get a couple of hits in. But if you ignore the stab circle, then you'll be able to do a few combo hits and an ultra. And again, it will depend on how many exclamation marks you get for your attack window as to how many hits you'll get. So I think it's similar to IB2, but I haven't properly explored it yet. There might be a bit of difference with the light weapon and the exclamation marks. I noticed I had more combos, I got more combos in than I expected, but it looks quite similar with the dual attack windows. So I'll be looking at that closer in the future. And you'll see here I was able to get the usual 3 combo hits plus an ultra, and that's still the same, where the ultra is 3 times the amount of hit and the combo is double. But I got hit again there because I was thrown by that magic. I still hadn't quite worked it out, and I thought he was going to get attacked by it, but as I say, it just slowed him down. So other than that, this Titan was finished pretty quickly, although he does have a lot of health. And of course with these new Titans we have no idea what the new moves are going to be. So it is a learning curve to find out what their style is and what sort of attacks they're going to do and what their step backs are, all of that. And so they are looking quite different to the IB2 Titans at this point. They seem to do more step back type moves in a row and a bit more unexpected moves. It's like they haven't got standard routine moves like the IB2 Titans. You'll see that after defeating that large Titan, I got 6,500 gold from that treasure chest. So I think it's definitely worth fighting him to get that gold at this early stage of the game. You end up mastering items quite quickly, and it's good to have the gold to get the next item so you can keep mastering and keep leveling. So now we're on to the Exo Pilot that you might meet in the corridor. I'm sure the Titans are all going to change like they do in IB2. And you'll see, although he's the same guy from IB2, he's got a completely different weapon to what he uses in IB2. But his moves are quite similar, except he does, as I say before, more step back moves in a row, like that jumping he just did. He's more likely to do it twice in a row than just the one jump. And I think, like IB2, the Titans are quite slow at this stage early on in the game, and I'm sure that with each awakening we'll find that the Titans speed up and they're faster when we go to attack them. But this is for us to get used to them, and he was dispatched pretty quickly there, and I don't think I got hit at all. No, there was my goal achieved for that. And it's good to getting the goals because you then get the battle chips, and the battle chips are handy for buying all the supplies. So all the ingredients, wheels and keys in IB3 need to be bought with battle chips, and we get battle chips from completing goals and also from clash mobs. And so now we're on to another Titan that appeared in IB2. However, once again, he has got a different weapon that he used. He's using the half star now, and he used a different one in IB2. But his star was similar, and however, as you can see, he drops the weapon and once again picks up the column to attack me. So that was unexpected, and I'm still getting used to column fighting, but I am finding it basically the same as when they've got a sword. So I didn't have any trouble with that, and I've got except a couple of hits that I still got, but that's again because I'm not as used to fighting with light. I'm so used to fighting with dual. But that was the only hit he got in there, and I finished him off pretty quickly again. This room reminds me a bit of the library in IB2. It's a similar sort of feel to it and setup. So after him, then we're on to the boss fight, and this is the soulless God King. So it's Radriar's clone. And if you read the book Infinity Blade Redemption by Brandon Sanderson, you'll be familiar that the worker puts a clone of Radriar in place of the God King while he's trapped in the vault, and Siris goes and defeats him. And so this is being acted out in the game, and we can defeat this soulless God King quite easily. He has got different moves to Radriar. He does a kick to the side, which Radriar didn't have. And so again, it's a matter of getting used to the new moves, and I'm sure after a few awakenings we'll have it down pat and know these moves well. But this boss didn't give me much trouble at all. Except right at the end, I'd got him down to a very small amount of health and thought that I'd finished him, and in fact he was still alive, so I kept scratching at him to try and finish. And so just right at the end I had a bit of trouble, and I got a bit frustrated and finished him off with lots of scratches. But other than that, he's pretty easy. And you'll see with the light weapon, the combo moves are different. It's now a stab and a shield bash instead of a number of stabs. And there's 2 or 3 in a row that we can do. I get into a tap battle here, but that was no problem. And you'll see at this point, I get him right down, and I think he ends up with something like 7 health there. And I thought I'd finished him, but there I hadn't, so he got a hit in. And then I sort of scratched him to the end because it was so close. And so that was the end of the soulless God King and the first boss for Siris, and the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play of Larioth with a bit of a guide to this mission, And if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. More Infinity Blade 3 videos to come. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.